Alright guys, good day. I am the Agro King, Phillips Joshua, and I welcome you to another exciting episode of Global Agro Connect podcast, an agri-based podcast that talk basically about different areas of agriculture, problems pertaining farmers and how you can handle them. Today we have another interesting and juicy topic that I know you will love to learn about. Are you a livestock farmer, a crop farmer, basically any type of agriculture? This knowledge will actually be useful. Imagine you have friends who have livestock, birds precisely. Today's podcast is basically for you and for that your friend. So if you're done with this, listening to this, if you have other farmers, please do well to send the link to them for them to listen, because it's going to do them more good than harm, okay? Before we proceed, please click on the subscription button to keep getting our videos, our audios, and basically some videos we're going to be dropping very soon. And you also have to click on the like button. Thank you. Okay, let's delve into the main topic of today: how I was able to cure infectious CORYZA in my pet bird, that's my fowl, within the period of 5 days. Yes, 5 days I was able to do that. Basically, I was using herbs. Yeah, I call it a pet bird because while getting some birds for my neighbors who were planning on raising some for the Easter so they don't necessarily have to buy, I had to get one for myself, seeing the fact that school wasn't resuming and there is no news about it resuming, and saying that the second phase of coronavirus is out again. What would I have done? I had to get something which I had to practice on. I called the pet bird my sacrificial lamb, okay, because I was willing to test whatever I had, whatever I found. I was willing to test on the bird to see how it works out. So if I made a mistake on it, I know that mistake I would not make it in my farm again, okay? Or basically it will be very hard. It's only a silly person that makes a mistake here and doesn't recognize what mistake he makes, okay? I just brought the bird to know how to tackle some diseases when I get into my personal farm, when I start or establish my farm. Alright, how was I able to do this? It wasn't easy though. When I got it, I basically got the bird not from a farm. The birds from my neighbors not from a farm. I got 12, and out of 12 we had several mortalities. Basically not mine. Mine wasn't among the one that died, but some of theirs died, and I felt really bad for them. And most of them died of sicknesses that didn't even show symptoms. You just woke up one day and found them. Some of them were shivering, their feathers dropped, and most of them were having Newcastle diseases, which I noted from their excrement. And one of them had coccidiosis, which killed it, obviously, because the neighbors weren't able to afford the or the treatment for it. Basically, it has no treatment. It's just to cordon it and keep giving it anticocci and other things to help subside it. But basically, no viral infection has cure. The best thing is prevention, which I know of. But let's go over the infectious CORYZA of the thing happened to mine, and it was with those of my mom as well. 5 of my mom's chicks, and it's the 6th one and the biggest of all of them. And it was taking it fed really well, and when the infectious CORYZA affected it, my bird broke down. It wasn't as active as before. Started emaciating, the face swelling, as you can see, and the eyes were shutting, and I was really worried. The first thing I applied was red oil on the face, that's palm oil, on the eyes. And while I applied it, I didn't see any results, so I made further research. Besides that, before that, my neighbors has actually encountered that in theirs, and they made use of an antibiotic, which she also found online that it works for them. And I'm going to be giving you the name of the antibiotic before this audio runs out. You find out it works for them. But seeing the fact that I'm a student and I want to test run, I want to explore several things. Like I called my bird a sacrificial lamb. I have to test run what I had to. I had to do what I had to, or at least to help those who cannot get that antibiotics to combat the infectious coryza. Infectious coryza is also known as Merek disease, and it's a bacterial infection for birds, majorly in poultry, and it causes the swelling of the wattles as well as the eyes, and it also causes mucus discharge from the nose. So basically, that was what I found from my mucus discharge from the nose. Although the wattle wasn't affected, but the eyes were clearly shut down. And while I saw this, I started making research online, and while I made research, I discovered that several people has asked this question too on Pinterest. Several has asked the question on Pinterest, and several had problems. But I didn't go for those who asked the questions. I went for those who said, "Oh, I've tried this herb and it didn't work." There was a man who mentioned that, and he was dealing with noiler birds, and I started going through all the suggestions that were given by non-Nigerian farmers to him, and some of them said he make use of cinnamon leaves, and we should make use of moringa leaves, and several other of them. So I went through every comment, and each comment I never really had all the herbs that were required in every comment. So I went through every comment, and I went through the herbs that they prescribed for him. All I just did was, the first said something about making use of onions amongst others, and I had onions, so I took out onions. I went to the second and third, I saw something different which I also had, which was aloe vera. I got that. I got bitter leaf from the fourth, and that was how I keep getting the herbs. So basically I found bitter leaf, I found aloe vera, I found onions, I found ginger basically. So I mashed and grinded all this together, and I didn't add water. I just squeezed out the liquid from the bitter leaf, and I added it to, I added little water to the bitter leaf, by the way, and that was the water I used to mix all other ingredients together, shaked properly, and left for a few hours before giving it to my bird. This was what I gave it, 55 ml using a syringe for complete 5 days, morning and night. So I bombarded it with excessive dose to make sure that went down. And while I was doing this, I cordoned this, I took it off. Okay, I removed it from the others so it doesn't infect them. But lo and behold, it also infected them. But before I noticed the infection, I had been giving the other ones aloe vera. So I gave my mom's birds, which was mine was staying with, before I noticed it. I gave them aloe vera, and at the first time when I was treating mine, I didn't see the symptoms there. So I gave them the aloe vera and the extract I made from all the ingredients together. I was feeding it not only to mine but to all of them, but mine was separate. I kept mine in a separate pen while I took care of it, basically a carton, while I took care of it. And lo and behold, after 5 days my bird was okay. But while I was treating the infectious coryza, while I was administering the herbal treatment, I noticed something. When the eyes were shut, it was not actually shut out of the fact that the eyes just closed. There was mucus inside the eyes, and that mucus had to be removed. So I got a tissue. I made it of, if I don't find a rag, I made it of tissue or a cotton wool. So I got a tissue. So I pressed the eye gently. That's the swollen part. I pressed it gently, and lo and behold, there was this mucus coming out of it, pouring out of it. So once I was done pressing it out every day, I'll clean the eyes, clean inside the eyelids, and basically not the eyeball. I clean the eyelids, and the bird will scream and scream. And that's it. It's painful though, but I'll clean it, and I'll take it gently so I don't hurt it. I'll clean the eyelids, then I'll clean the eye and take off the mucus, and you will see the eyes will be opened a bit. So this was how I was doing it. After administering it, I'll clean it up. After cleaning it up, I'll keep the eyes clean. Then the carton I kept, it was always very clean. It was always very clean, and I fed it. Basically, I don't use feed. What I use is I use rice grains, and I feed them maggots. Yes, I feed them maggots. Especially in a week, I feed them maggot like twice. In a week, I feed them like two. I give them maggot like twice. So that was what I was doing regularly, feeding them the maggots and giving them the rice grain. So while I was giving mine, although the aloe vera actually helped boost the immunity. Now this is very important. Boosting immunity in your livestock is one thing you should put into consideration when any livestock of yours is going through any disease outbreak or is having any infection. When you are able to boost the immunity, because at that point when your livestock is in or is fighting with that disease. Other disease can actually see it prone to them and they can attack the livestock. Basically, the first disease affecting your livestock might not be the one to kill it. It's the other diseases or infections that will combat or that will attack that livestock if the immune system is weak, that will obviously kill it. Okay, so since I noticed that, or since I knew that, I had to use that aloe vera, higher dose of the aloe vera, to boost the immunity of my birds, my bird pets. And lo and behold, even while it was battling with the disease, it actually had very high urge for play. It will always want to go out, it will always want to run out. Most of the times I even had injury from it, scratching me and all the rest, because I was trying to keep it inside the house for it not to go out and affect others. And after 5 days, my bird is okay. Like you can see on the before and the after picture, that was 5 days. And currently now, all the eyes is clearly opened. He is actually very fine now. And that was how it was done. I administered the herbs twice every day, and it worked for me. I don't know if it worked for you, but I pray it does, and I know it will, since it worked for me. But you can try it out. Probably based on environmental differences, it might not work as fast as it worked for me, but I know it to actually work. And if it doesn't, please keep boosting the immunity. I think Infectious CORYZA actually lasts in a bird for only 13 days. So after that 13 days, if the immune system of the livestock is strong, when the bacterial dies on it, then your bird is actually okay. The bird will be okay. Yes. So keep boosting the immunity until when that bacteria dies on it. No bacteria stays in forever. Okay, it has an expiry date. Or virus, they have expiry dates. So after that expiry date, if your bird's immune system is strong enough to carry or to hold them for that time, you actually have a bird back. So that's just it. And yeah, like I said, I was going to drop the name of the antibiotics. That's Amoxyl, not the Bicham. Okay, it's Amoxyl. I made use of the 500 milligram, and I made use of it for those of my mom that was infected, because she didn't want to hear that I'm making use of herbs. She was always complaining, why don't you use Amoxyl? Why do you want this bird to die? And it didn't die. Oh yeah, she has seen it, but her rate of complaint will not let me use that herbs on hers. She will always keep complaining. You want my bird to die, give them this. So basically I just had to give hers Amoxyl and they're okay. But as a student, I had to research. Okay, I have to do what I have to do to mine, just to learn how it will work better if I am in a bigger farm. Okay, thank you very much. This is actually a very educating episode so far, and I thank you very much. It's a short podcast, but yeah, next week we're having something interesting, and I'm going to it's going to be something interesting, and I wish you would listen to it. Okay, just keep an expectation of our next week podcast. That is going to be mind blowing. It's going to be mind blowing. Okay, keep an expectation of next week's podcast, and also the next episode. After next week, other week, please, these 2 episodes are never to miss. You can't afford to miss it, especially if you're looking for agricultural investment opportunities with just a little capital. That's when you're going to see all of them. You're going to see all of them by next week. You're going to listen to them by next week. So do well to keep in touch. If you want to see this content for today's podcast, I'm going to be writing them down. They're going to be a content on our social media handles. So please do well to follow our Facebook handle at Global Agro Connect and Instagram handle at Global Agro Connect. And if you want to join our volunteers on that, our experts volunteers, a large number on Telegram, please, there's a Telegram link on the description bar. Click on it and join, and that's where you get the first-hand information on whether we're launching a new book, whether we're hosting any trainings for free, whether we're hosting an agric advice program where you ask your questions and we basically have to source for the answers and give to you, where we have to help you tackle your problems in the farm. Those are where you get the information. So do well do your utmost to follow the steps. And one thing again, you've gained value. Please do not keep the value to yourself. You have farmers friends, you have farmers who are your friends. Please, especially your livestock farmers, don't let them miss this information. It might work for them, it will work for them, that if they follow the precautions. Please send to them, share to them. It will really work. Thank you very much once again for being through this episode, and I want to say goodbye for now, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel. That's the end of the episode. Bye.